Hey, how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's go through some stuff because there's a lot of stress balls out there. Let's go through everything. Let's piece this together, okay? First off, the Central Bank of Iraq and the government of Iraq, okay, are autonomous. Because the CBI is completely autonomous, guys, they can change the rate anytime they want. Now, if you go back and look at just the last things they said that they wanted clean up and cleared up, before they would agree to rate change, the last big two things they told us was in 2014. And in 2014, what they said was they gave two key things that they wanted accomplished before they agreed to delete the zeros. Remember, they said they need these two things resolved before, and due to the two things, they said the deletion of the zeros was delayed for 5 years until 2019. They said they want the corruption removed, and they said, remember, the elections occurred on May 12th of 2018, and then they said that they needed the security resolved. The security was getting rid of the terrorists from the ISIS war. That ended in December of 17. That's been done for a while, okay? So the last steps was getting rid of the corruption. Do you guys see Mossad Barzani back in there in the government, okay? Or did his son have to take over after he was removed, okay? And second, do you see Maliki or Malachi in there? Nope. Okay, those guys and a few of the others, they're all gone. They're not back. So my point is, guys, everything we needed to see has been dealt with, okay? Second, so they took care of the CBI's last steps, okay, they got rid of that old form of corruption. It's gone. So what did Iraq turn around and do after they got rid of the corruption? Was the last steps per the CBI's requirements to delete the zeros. Iraq started setting the stage at the beginning of 19. Okay, they started doing reconstruction agreements, trade agreements. Then as we get into July through the remainder of 19, Kurdistan and Baghdad were meeting to resolve all the math and budget numbers within the budget for all the money that was going to go to Kurdistan, the budget money that would be given back to Kurdistan, okay, and how much oil Kurdistan was going to give back to Baghdad, okay, for all the budget numbers for Article 140, HCL, reforms, all of that, okay, guys? So my point to you is after the government fulfilled the CBI's last requirement steps to delete the zeros, which was removing the old former corrupt officials, Iraq started setting the stage. And that's why they set the stage, because they had everything ready to go. But what I want to stress to you is the CBI is autonomous from the government. And all of the steps have already been fulfilled for the CBI to now change the rate. Now they're positioning the money, guys, okay? Now, let's look at a bigger picture, because a lot of you guys are just total stress balls right now. Iraq, look at where Iraq was. A long time ago, Iraq was so corrupt they couldn't function. Okay, they were super corrupt. Second, Kurdistan and Baghdad didn't even get along. They've gotten rid of, when you look at where where Iraq was a long time ago, okay, about, in the last just 5+ years ago. And then look at where they're at now, guys. They've made tremendous strides from where they were to where they're physically at currently. Okay, so, but my point to you is if you look at Iraq's actions, you can see it's all coming together. The CBI's last requirement to delete the zeros, they said that the corrupt political figures had to be removed, and they were. After they got rid of those corrupt officials, Iraq started setting the stage for the rate change. But that has taken a full year to do. That's not just a 1 day, 1 month step. They need time. That's why they used the whole year of 19 to set the stage. And now you can see they've already told you, this isn't my opinion, they've told you reconstruction, reforms, Article 140, HCL, they've told you that all of those items are in the budget. So what they're indirectly telling you is they have to position money for those steps, okay? Now, some of you are freaking out because of what you saw today about how Iraq's parliament voted to remove U.S. They didn't completely remove the U.S. 100%. What they said is it's military assistance, okay? Like the U.S. will no longer allowed to be able to do flyovers or fly within their airspaces, okay? Which means we probably won't be allowed to have bases there anymore. But guys, we're still going to have embassies there. Our world's 2 largest embassies are there. We're still going to have embassies there. We're still going to have a presence there. And to a certain extent, we would still have to have like a small partial base in such a way, because we still need a military presence there to protect our own personnel, our own U.S. personnel that are within Iraq around the embassies and so forth, okay? But you're missing one thing now. Remember, about in the last 2 weeks, I did a video for you guys, and it was actually, these articles were actually initiated from U.S. news like Reuters and so forth. These articles told you that Iraq, and these comments were coming from U.S. officials, not Iraqi officials, that said the U.S. was already scaling down its presence within Iraq. You guys already saw this. So if the U.S. is already going to start scaling down its presence in Iraq, that would mean we would be reducing our military size and everything there anyway. Okay, plus, who cares if we can't fly over there, all right? Because we have a huge presence within our bases in Kuwait, who's a neighboring country. So even if we can't fly over Iraq and use their airspace, we're right next door, and we can be there just in a matter of minutes, because we already have such a massive presence in Kuwait. All right, so guys, everything's on track. You have to look at what Iraq has said. All right, they already told you they had to clean up the security they did with ISIS in December of 17. They told you they had to get rid of the corruption. All the major corrupt officials are gone. Iraq will always have partial corruption. Okay, they have since then. And guys, same that goes along with the Iranian presence. Okay, Iraq has had an Iranian Shia presence there since biblical times. They will never be able to get rid of that 100%. You have to look at where Iraq was and look at where they're currently at. All right, they'll never get rid of that Iranian presence to 100%. All right, so even if Mahdi stays there for another through Q1, January, February, March, who cares? That just, at least that gives them a little bit of political stability to change the rate. All right, that way they don't have instability. They actually have stability. Mahdi, yeah, he's Iranian, but he's actually done nothing wrong. And second, I know that the demonstrators don't like him, but one thing I've stressed to you is regarding Mahdi, there's not a damn thing Mahdi can do. Mahdi's hands are tied, okay? They've already told you that everything that Mahdi or the government needs or wants to do for the demonstrators require budget money within the 2020 budget, and they have to allocate and fund that money for the demonstrators' demands. So Mahdi's hands are tied. There's nothing he can do. All right? So, guys, we're right on track. Look at what the CBI told you. Don't put your opinion in this. Look at what the CBI told you. Back in 2014, they said clean up security. They said remove the corrupt political figures. Iraq has done so. Now look at what Iraq's actions are through all of 19. Tell me when you've ever seen Iraq do anything through which they did in the year of 2019, okay? Fully setting the stage for the rate change. And they told you that all of those steps require money, which is now within the 2020 budget. So now they're positioning and allocating that money for those items. Guys, it's right there. Look at everything. It's right there before you. So please remove your opinion from this and just look at how the facts have played out before you, from what the CBI said through the government's actions of 19, and look at what they're doing right now. So guys, they've already the facts very clearly tell you the last thing we're waiting for is for them to position the money of the 2020 budget. And then I've already gone into great detail revealing to you about what it means, what the temporary interim budget means, the significance of it, and it shows you how they're transitioning to a different fiscal period, guys. Okay, so don't worry about all the other stuff. The other stuff, there are no delays in this. Nothing's speeding it up, and there's no delays at all. Okay, and be careful what other gurus you follow right now. Okay, there's a couple gurus that came out and said this had to happen at the beginning of the year. Okay, and because they said it had to happen at the beginning of the year, They're now putting out videos telling you that the Iranian issues that are happening right now with Iran are actually delays in this, and they're not. It's because these gurus now have to create more lies to cover their previous lies. All right, so those are the gurus you do not want to listen to, okay? Guys, have a great day and God bless. Take care.